Students, in previous lecture we had discussed about verification of Ohm's law, and in verification of Ohm's law we noticed the graph between V and I, and the data was given as like this. That was V, that is I, and R is equal to V upon I. Let's suppose V is 2, I is 4, R is equal to V upon I. 2 by 4 is equal to 1 by 2. If here it is 3, it is 6, R is equal to 3 by 6, you will get 1 by 2. If it is 4, it is 8, R is equal to 4 by 8, 1 by 2, or 1 by 2 or 1 or 2, any constant value if you are getting, this clarify the verification of Ohm's law. And if you trace the graph between V and I, and if you are getting a straight line passes from origin, then this verify the Ohm's law. So if question is asked, how can you verify the Ohm's law? So you will get for different V, you will get different I, as like previous I told, by sliding the rheostat. And if you find the ratio of resistance, R is equal to V upon I, V is 2, I is 4, and you will get 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, or 1 by 3. If any constant value, if you are getting 1 by 3, it will be 1 by 3, 1 by 3. If you are getting 4, 4, 4, if any constant value you are getting, which started from origin, this verify the Ohm's law. Okay. Today we will discuss about what are the limitations of Ohm's law and what are the failures of Ohm's law. Okay. So what are the limitations of Ohm's law? There are certain limitations. So note down the limitation. First limitation, all physical quantities as like pressure, temperature should remains constant. Once again, first limitation, all physical quantities as like pressure and temperature remains constant. If they are vary, then resistance will vary, which will be the cause of failure of Ohm's law. So this is first point. Second point, there should be no strain in wire. Second limitation, there should be no strain in wire. It means if you are doing wire as like this, so no doubt its length will increase, and in next lecture I will taught you R proportional to L. If length increases, resistance increases, which will be the cause of change in resistance. So no doubt resistance changes, it means Ohm's law will not valid. So they are the basic limitations which you have to follow. Pressure and temperature should be constant, and second point, there should be no strain in wire. They are the limitations of Ohm's law. Okay. Next point, what are the failures of Ohm's law? So no doubt you know that if you trace the graph between V and I and you are getting a straight line, this verifies Ohm's law. If you are not getting so, this will called failure. So there are two types of failure. Let's suppose you are getting graph as like this, V and I, and your graph is started. Your graph is a straight line. This is a water voltmeter. This is the instrument by which we can produce the oxygen, hydrogen. You will study in higher classes. But let's suppose you are getting graph for water voltmeter as like V and I, and you are getting a straight line, but it is not started from origin. But in previous lecture, I taught you V proportional to I or I proportional to V. We can see there, here V increases from this to this, but still I is 0. It means it is not following this condition. So this is the failure. This is called failures of Ohm's law. It means we have to get the graph started from origin. Here we are getting a straight line, but it is not started from origin. It means it will not follow the condition I proportional to V, because we have increases V that much. Still I is equal to 0. But we know that I should proportional to V. It means Ohm's law will not valid here. This is the first failure of Ohm's law, because restriction is there for verification. Graph should be straight as well as it started from origin. While here we are getting graph is straight. It's okay. But it is not started from origin. If not started from origin, then it will not follow the condition I proportional to V, because with increment in V, I should increases, while here V is increasing that much, still I remains 0. It means this is the failure of Ohm's law. First point. Second point. For second point, let us see another graph. V and I as like this. This is the graph of semiconductor. As like diode. In 12th class you will study this, but see there, in first graph was straight but not started from origin. Here it is started from origin but not in a straight line. So what we get, if you make the slope, what you will get? You can see here you will get resistance R1, here resistance will be R2, here resistance will be R3. While here I taught you at every point resistance should be R. Resistance should be constant. This is called verification of Ohm's law. If you are getting graph as like this, then at a different portion you are getting different resistance as like R1, R2, R3, which is not a constant value. This is called again failure of Ohm's law. So how can we find out Ohm's law is valid or not valid? If graph is started from origin and a straight line, this is called verification of Ohm's law. While graph is not started from origin but straight line, this failed. Here graph is started from origin but not in a straight line, this also failed. And this is the graph for semiconductor diode. Okay, so this is called failure of Ohm's law for different. That was water voltmeter, here semiconductor diode. Okay, so this is all about your failure of Ohm's law. Okay, now see some conceptual questions based on Ohm's law. Okay, so let us suppose you are given as like this. R1, R2, this is V and this is I. And let's suppose this not R1, R2, this is X and Y. Two conductors are given. The name of conductor is X and Y, and it is the graph between V and I. If teacher asks which resistance is more, X or Y, find out the which wire resistance is more. So we know that the resistance R is equal to V upon I. It's okay. So let's suppose we have made the projection as like this. For both wire, let's suppose current is constant. We can solve this numerical in two ways. First, we can see in that way current is constant, while here voltage is what? Vx, and voltage is what? Vy. We can see there Vy is greater than Vx. Vy is greater than what? Vx. Since V is greater while current is constant, so according to this formula, if V is more, resistance will more, so we can find Ry is greater than Rx. The resistance of wire Y is greater than the resistance of what? X. By Ohm's law, we can find the answer easily. Ry is greater than Rx. For same question, we can solve in different way, as like, let's suppose for same question, this is V, this is I, these are the graphs. Answer will be same, but ideas are different. This is X, this is Y, and I ask which wire have a larger resistance. Here we notice Y is greater than X. Let's suppose you are projecting it as like this. In that question, I was constant, V was different. Here V is constant, I is different. This is the value of what? Ix. This is the value of what? Iy. And here Ix is greater than Iy. We can see there Y is here. Sorry. X is here. X is here. Y. X is here. Y is here. Because this is the point of X, this is the point of Y. Ix is greater than Iy. But for resistance, R is equal to V upon I. V remains constant. And if I is more, resistance will less. This is the basic concept of maths. Okay. since here X current is more, so its resistance will less. Y is less, it is in denominator. Y is less, its resistance will more. So again we will get same answer, Ry is greater than Rx. Same answer we are getting, but in different way. So this is the conceptual problem based on Ohm's law. Okay. So by this we can solve it. Okay. Okay. Our next question is today, that is factors affecting the resistance. Very, very important topic, this factors affecting the resistance. Three names. It is also called resistivity. It is also called specific resistance. So here three names are factors affecting the resistance. First topic. Second is resistivity. Third is also called specific resistance, and it is all denoted by rho. So let us see what are the point for this. The first factor is length. First factor is length. Let's suppose you are given a conductor as like this. Its length is L, its area cross section is A, and its flowing current is I, and its voltage is what? V. We have selected first conductor. Let's suppose L length. Our question is how length affect the what? Resistance. Our question is very clear. How resistance affected by length. Let's suppose first we have taken a block of length L, area A, flowing current is I, voltage is V. So its resistance R is equal to V upon I. It's okay. Now for same point, if we connect the another conductor of same length as like this, let's suppose I have, that was first. Second, we are connecting as like this. Okay, now this is called series combination. We will study it. Then flowing current is what? I, area is A, length is L, and here length is L. Length increases. Here length was L, here length is 2L. Voltage is V, here again voltage is V. So what a new resistance? R dash is equal to V. What a total V? Here V was V, here V is V plus V. It will be 2V upon flowing current will be same because they are connected in series. I and V upon I. We know that V upon I is equal to what? R. So R dash is equal to 2R. What we conclude here? In that question, V increases the length resistance by twice. Resistance R dash become 2R. So we conclude that R is proportional to L. This is the first factor. First factor was length. Here the length is L, area is A, voltage was V, flowing current is I, R is equal to V upon I. If length increases by L plus L, this is 2L, voltage again increases V plus V, 2V, current remains same. So R dash is equal to new resistance for this. R dash is equal to 2V upon I, voltage V plus V according to Ohm's law upon I, but V upon I is equal to R. So R dash is equal to 2R. It means resistance increases by twice while we increase the length. So we conclude that R is proportional to L. It means when we increase the length of wire, its resistance increases. Okay. For second topic, okay, note down all these points. For second point is area. Second factor is area. In your NCERT book, it is simply given, but we can describe it by that method. Okay. Second is area. So let's suppose resistance R is, for that case, resistance R is equal to what? V upon I. For same conductor, if we cut it from mid, what happened? Length is same, but area become A by 2 and A by 2. In same question, we cut this block from mid as like this. The area become A by 2, half. Here area was A. Its voltage is you better know V, because we have not increased the length, we have increased the area in parallel side. Then current I become half current gone through this one, it become I by 2. Here current gone I by 2. I divided into equal parts, I by 2 and I by 2. Okay, so resistance become R dash is equal to V upon I. What are I? I become I by 2. It will become, again 2 will go here, 2V upon I, and V upon I, we know that R. So resistance again become 2R. So what we conclude that if we decrease the area decreases, resistance what? Increases. It means they are not proportional, they are inversely proportional. So we can write R is inversely proportional to A. So first factor was R is proportional to A. Second is R inversely proportional to A. If we combine them, then we will get R is proportional to L upon A. L is proportional, A is inversely proportional. Remove the proportional sign. R is equal to rho L upon A, where rho is called specific resistance. That's all for today. In next day, we will study how can we solve the length, area and rho. Okay, that's all.